Christians, you may or may not be surprised to know that when you read the Old Testament, you will not find the word rabbi used at all. Rabbi is not in the Old Testament at all. No one in the Old Testament scriptures is referred to as rabbi. However, in the New Testament, you see the word rabbi for the first time, and you see it used 7 times. 5 times it is used by the apostles or disciples to refer to Christ. Christ was called rabbi. And just so you understand, the word rabbi means my master. It comes from the noun Hebrew word Rav, R-A-V. Jesus was called rabbi, my master, my master. So there's 2 other remaining times that the term rabbi is used, and it is used by Christ to describe the hypocrisy of the scribes and the Pharisees of his day. And this is what he said about the scribes and the Pharisees. He says, all of their works. No, first off, he says, for they bind heavy burdens. Matthew 23, verse 4. The scribes and Pharisees, they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and they lay on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move by themselves one of their fingers. But all of their works they do to be seen by men. They make broad their phylacteries, and they enlarge the borders of their garments. They love the uppermost rooms at feasts, and they enjoy the chief seats in the synagogues. They love greetings in the markets, and they love to be called by men, Rabbi, Rabbi, or my master, my master. But then Jesus goes on to say, do not be called rabbi, for one is your master. And remember, I said rabbi means my master. Jesus says in his own words, be not called rabbi. He tells these leaders not to be called rabbi, which also means that we should not call any of these folks rabbi or call them my master. And he says, do not be called rabbi, for only one is your master. And here's what Jesus says. Only one is your master, even Christ. And all ye are brethren. Jesus says that no one is your master. No one is your rabbi, but he himself. Only the Christ was to be called master. He is the only man on earth that warrants the designation and that deserves the designation to be called rabbi. And yet you have much of the Christian church, many of the Christian church, as if you have followed any of my videos in the last couple of days, talking about the distinction between Jew and Gentile. There are many people who came to me saying, if you don't support the state of Israel or the Jewish Israel, you are a false teacher and a false prophet. And yet, I can turn that back on all of you who would say such a thing and ask you the question, how is it that you can support anyone and back anyone whom you as a Christian, who you being a Christian, knowing that they support or that they can't stand, that they deny and denounce the very Lord you claim to be your master? They don't call Christ their master. Jesus said to call no one rabbi. Call no one rabbi, but he tells people not to call themselves rabbi, which means my master. So how do you deal with people who refuse to believe that the one you call master, the only one who is master, the only one who Christ says to call master, and yet you can support someone else who says they are master. Just go look it up. Just go look it up. And listen, this is nothing to do with Israel or the Jewish nation, because they don't believe that Jesus Christ was rabbi or that he should be called rabbi. You ask anybody who you know whose religion is Judaism, you ask them, is Christ their rabbi? And see what they say. And you see what they say. They laugh at Christians who support them, even though what they believe is completely and diametrically opposed to what you as a Christian believes. They have never turned on their master, but you turn on yours when you support those who are in opposition to your master. Consider these things. Be provoked and be persuaded.